Welcome back, YouTube. And for those who do not know me, hello, my name is Noah. On this channel, we talk about death, true crime, haunted people, places, and things, spiritual reparations, and how you can fuck around and find out. If you're not subscribed here at this point, what are we really doing? Why are you here? Subscribe now, turn your notification bell on. And if you're on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, please follow me there as well. I will be linking those accounts down below. Before we start today's episode, I would like to formally invite you guys to travel with me. If you follow me over on TikTok, you know that I'm an avid traveler. I've been to several countries in the past 3 years, and I love to travel. But I want to take you guys with me too, because this retreat is going to be spiritual, it's going to be healing, and we're going to have fun. It's not just going to be all instant smoke, meditation. No, it is all that, but we're going to also have a really, really good time, okay? And since I am not a dictator, I want to know where you guys want to go. I want to know the activities that you guys want to do. I am going to leave the link down below for you guys to take the survey. Remember, all of your accommodations, all of your activities, food, that is included in the price of the trip. So y'all better come on, come travel with me, okay? My bestest travel buddy will be there, but we need some more travel buddies. So go ahead and click the link in my bio. Also, a friendly reminder that I do not have more than one account on each platform. The only safe place to find my platforms is in the description of my YouTube videos and my link tree that is located on my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Please beware of scammers. I will never reach out to you for a reading. I'm going to say it again. I will never, ever, ever reach out to you for a reading. I will never follow you guys back on TikTok, Instagram, what have you. And it's not because I don't love y'all. I'm trying to stop fraud. So please be careful and keep y'all coin in y'all pocket. On today's episode of Fuck Around and Find Out, we will be discussing another portal location, and that is Los Angeles, California. I am from Northern California, and even us up north know the energy that goes on in SoCal because we have our own set of energy. We have our own portals up there. But LA is haunted, baby. Haunted. I love LA. I'm not going to hold you. I like it. I like it a lot. But downtown LA and Hollywood makes you feel like your stomach is going to drop in your ass. The energy is so weird. That's why they call it Hollyweird. It is just a weird place. People go there to basically live a life that most of them can't afford or will never eventually live. It's a lot of broken dreams, broken promises, broken spirits in LA. Everything is haunted down there, y'all. I mean, department stores, malls, hotels, parks, signs, literal billboard signs. It is definitely a portal. Negative energy just lives there. It is a very heavy feeling when you go into Los Angeles. And I'm not just talking about downtown LA, the most obvious reasons. You have to think LA was home to one of the biggest gang wars ever. There is a lot of bloodshed in LA. So we'll be watching some viral TikToks about how haunted LA is and what makes it a portal. And as always, I will always link the creators down below. If you like their content, please give them a follow. If they have a YouTube page, I always try to find it so you guys can follow them there as well. This first video comes from an account underneath the handle, The Disappointed Goddess, and she is telling about the famous Roosevelt Hotel. And everything she said, I've already heard.
The Roosevelt Hotel, right in the heart of Hollywood Boulevard, is LA's longest operating hotel, opening in 1927. It's been visited by numerous celebrities throughout the decades. It hosted the first ever Academy Awards in its Blossom Ballroom in 1929. Marilyn Monroe loved the hotel, staying there for 2 years as her career took off. It's also one of the most haunted hotels in Hollywood. It's been reported that Marilyn Monroe haunts suite number 1200, where she's appeared to guests staying in the room. An employee dusting the mirror saw Marilyn's reflection looking back. The mirror has since been moved to a mezzanine hallway just off the hotel lobby. Several guests have reported seeing Marilyn in the reflection of the mirror. Actor Montgomery Clift is still active in suite number 928. Clift is known for brushing up against people and has been heard playing his trumpet. Another recurring spirit is that of 5-year-old Caroline, who's always looking for her mother. 2 unidentified mischievous spirits haunt the Blossom Ballroom, purposely making loud footsteps and locking people out of the rooms. Security once saw a person swimming in the pool through the cameras while it was closed. When one of them went to check, the guard could still see the apparition swimming, but the guard at the pool couldn't see anything at all. Let me know if you've been here.
As a teenager, I was a huge Marilyn Monroe fan, and I went down there as a graduation gift from my great aunt because she also is a huge Marilyn fan, and I took pictures of the Roosevelt Hotel, and it was just creepy. I wasn't even inside of the hotel. It was creepy just looking at it. You can feel the energy coming off of it. This next clip comes from an account called Brittany Page, and she is investigating the Rosenthal Mansion. And a lot of you guys have seen this mansion in American Horror Story, and I think it's season 1 Murder House. But the house is actually haunted.
Yeah, you feel whatever happens, you just say on. Who's the one who pushed the dog?
Them people is brave going in that house without their head covered. I'm not above a ghost hunt. I've done one. But cover y'all heads when y'all go into these spiritually active places, or you're going to be taking somebody home with you. This next creator's name is Pete Monzingo, and he lives across the street from one of the most haunted hotels in America. And he just so happened to wake up in the middle of the night one night and see something. Now, disclaimer, this video was released in 2020. There's been a lot of changes to the Cil Hotel since then, so just bear with him.
I live across the street from the most haunted hotel in the world, and at night I always take a look just to make sure I don't see anything, but there have been times I have. I haven't even started telling the story yet and already have goosebumps. All right, so I woke up in the middle of the night one night because I had to pee really bad, and I looked out my window and I saw in the hotel there was an old man smoking a cigarette staring at me. And I remember thinking, maybe he's not. How can he even see me? It's pitch black. So I decided to run to the other side of my apartment to see if his head were to follow me, and it did. So he was looking at me, and I freaked out, jumped behind the couch to hide. And in that moment, I realized that the Hotel Cecil hasn't even been open for years. It's like practically boarded up right now. And I went to peek one more time, and he was gone.
Sorry for the jump scare. It scared me, so I had to scare y'all too. But that hotel is weird. Weird. I mean, that's one place I will never stay. I won't even step inside of it. Okay, let me quit lying. I may step inside of it in the daytime with a head covering, but I would never stay overnight in that hotel ever. How haunted does your city have to be the storyline for like 3 seasons of American Horror Story? Because the Cecil Hotel was Hotel Cortez in American Horror Story Hotel. I believe that's the name of it. This next clip comes from Holly Weird. Again, I'm just loving her account. She covers all things haunted in the LA area, LA County, and she is talking about the most famous but haunted mall in Los Angeles.
Which mall in LA is claimed to be the most haunted mall? Following up from yesterday's video, and many of you asked, and here it is. The Beverly Center, located in Beverly Hills, California. So before we go into a deeper dive with why is the Beverly Center considered to be the most haunted mall in Los Angeles, I want to give credit to my friend Tim Roddy of the Tim Roddy podcast, who did a lot of the research and interviews with guests and co-workers of this mall. I'm a follow on this podcast, and what a coincidence that this is the 13th episode. Number 13. Actually, for me, the number 13 is a lucky number, but I digress. All right, so let's get started. What stood in the center of the Beverly Center? Well, we have to go back to 1902. What currently stands right now in place of the Beverly Center is the Salt Lake oil field. So if you notice the high shielded walls around that location, from San Vicente Boulevard, it's actually an actively drilling and pumping oil well, as pictured right here. But let's fast forward to the 40s, because this is where it gets really interesting. So from 1942 to 1943, we have the Beverly Park, which is a child's amusement park. And what was really interesting about this park is that it was inspired by Walt Disney. This was such a cute park, and it was a park where movie stars from the 40s, 50s, and 60s would bring their kids to. Very famous for its pony ride, and of course, the haunted castle. Fortunately, the park closes in 1972, and then we go into the 80s. In 1982, between Beverly Boulevard and La Cienega, we have the Beverly Center. So what was really cool about this mall, besides the bullet behind me, is the fact that it had a 14-screen movie theater, and it was the home to the first Hard Rock Cafe. Many of those who traveled to the mall when it very first opened, they noticed that the mall really didn't have any windows, had 4 to 5 floors of parking, and that it was just oddly shaped. So what is causing the phenomenon there? According to many mall workers, including security and construction workers, many people claim that the 6th and 7th floor happened to be the most active. When workers, I think possibly a few years ago, who may have recorded something when they were opening the store. Workers at the Foot Locker there would notice that shoes would always end up on the floor from the display wall. Who would close, would come back and open the next day, and would swear to God that those shoes were always against that wall. Another thing too that security would state is hearing the laughter of children at odd hours of the night. Now, could that possibly be linked to the amusement park that once stood in its place? It's the stock rooms in a lot of these stores, especially in the 6th and 7th floor, where people would feel very uneasy. They would hear their names being called out. There's one mall worker who claimed that something or someone grabbed her by the leg when no one was around. Construction workers would notice that their tools would go missing or their tools would fly out of nowhere. This mall has also witnessed a lot of death. One of them being in 2009 with the rapper Dalla, who was gunned down in front of the mall. And another one of a man who unalived himself inside of a dressing room of a Forever 21 inside the Beverly Center. Could it actually also be connected to the Cedars-Sinai Hospital, which is located not too far away from this mall? Do you experience anything in this mall? Let me know in the comments.
And unexplained paranormal events. When it was built, it was supposed to be a destination for international businessmen and social elites. But 2 years later, when the Great Depression hit, many homeless people began gathering around Skid Row, which is where the Cil Hotel is located. The hotel became a meeting place for criminals and drug.
You have to be a haunted ass city to have a whole mall haunted. And this is why I say this is a portal. It's like so many bad things happen there. The spirits just stay. It's absolutely unhinged. This next clip comes from Ginger Snaps, and they are touring the most haunted abandoned hospital in Los Angeles. Why doesn't LA just tear this stuff down? And what was that all over the floor? I'm assuming it's iodine, but what was that brown liquid? I don't even want to know. This next creator goes under LA History Girl, and she is exploring or touring the most haunted observatory in Los Angeles. And just from the outside, you could tell something wrong with this building. I'm sorry, it looks totally weird.
Floating above Los Angeles is a historic landmark so haunted that employees are allegedly asked to sign NDAs promising to not enclose their paranormal experiences. This is the Griffith Observatory, the crown of Griffith Park, and if you're familiar with LA lore, then you'll know it sits on cursed land. The land was originally Rancho Los Feliz. Because of some healthy family drama, is allegedly home to a curse, one that has stricken the land and landowners since its casting. Griffith J. Griffith would donate this portion of the land for the use of a public observatory in 1896. With the caveat, it must always be open for the public since until then, observatories were an exclusive attraction for the wealthy. Don't be fooled though, the man was a monster and would shoot his wife in the face in 1903 at the Arcadia Hotel in Santa Monica, where she'd jump out the window and miraculously, or sadly, depending on how you spin it, would survive. When I did the first season of my show Macabre Mondays, I had a former employee offer to tell me everything he experienced when working there, including the ghosts in the planetarium, the strange phone calls night security receives from no one, and the strange black shadow that will chase you down the hill. He said the reason he had to sign an NDA was because they don't want the paranormal activity scaring away the public. It's also the only time I've been asked to take a video down by a location. Haunted or not, cursed land or not, it remains my favorite landmark in the city, and as beautiful as it is on a clear day when you can see all the way out to the ocean, I almost prefer it socked in by clouds, giving the illusion that you really are floating in the clouds in the city of angels.
Baby, if I gotta sign an NDA to work for you, and the NDA is saying I can't talk about the ghosts, I'm not working there. What? I don't understand. Why would that even be in an NDA? How haunted is this place for real? Because the name Griffith and LA, it seemed like all his shit is haunted. This next account goes by Morning Star Moonchild, and she is going over Griffith Park. Now, depending on when this video is released, Griffith Park was in our Haunted Amusement Park video. And what is wrong with Griffith? I'm gonna do some research on that man, because there ain't no way everything that he built in LA is this goddamn haunted.
Okay, let's talk about haunted Griffith Park. Let's start with the carousel that's haunted by a little boy. He's said to be in early 1900s clothing, walking through the horses. Next, we come to the abandoned zoo. Opened in 1912, the animals were so cramped and horribly treated it was finally closed in 1966. Some people say you can still hear the animals. I still haven't found it, but there is a ghost couple that haunts a picnic table they tried to smash on but were crushed by a tree. Yeah, the fuck right, I'm not going in there. Nowadays the remaining enclosures are a hot spot for graffiti artists, as well as for photo shoots and music videos. There are other ghosts of the park, including the ghost of Griffith J. Griffith, Don Antonio Feliz, and his niece who cursed the land, Dona Petronella, as well as terrifying sightings of an 8-foot-tall demon with green skin, glowing eyes, and bent backwards arms.
An 8-foot-tall demon with green skin, red eyes, backwards hands and feet. Yeah, no thanks. Have fun. This next clip is again from Hollyweird Paranormal, and she is talking about some celebrities who everybody in the English-speaking language has heard their song, and y'all just listen.
In Hollywood, it's Michelle Marie. We are here in Hollywood Hills, about to crash the pad of LMFAO. We're up on the balcony. Check it out.
Back at it with celebrities and their paranormal experiences. And yes, that was LMFAO, the eccentric music duo made up of Red Foo on the left and Sky Blue on the right, who were famous for bringing us the party-rocking anthem. Did you not recognize the house in that video? Let's take another look. Here it is once more. Still doesn't ring any bells? This house was the setting of a gruesome murder that occurred in July of 1981, which were known as the Laurel Canyon murders or the Wonderland murders, which took the lives of 4 out of its 5 victims. Such a crazy story, like if you want me to cover it. But upon further digging, it seems like this house has a bit of activity. Because when something traumatic happens in an environment, an imprint can be left behind. In a 2011 interview with Sky TV, Red Foo stated that there was something spooky about the house. Based on their accounts, Red Foo witnessed the knobs to his shower turning on by themselves. Sky Blue would sense a presence in this room that would cause his door to open and slam by itself. With the help of their family, they cleansed the home and moved out a year later.
Let me just say this. These are celebrities. One of them is the son of a very famous music producer. If I'm not mistaken, it's Berry Gordy. Why are you picking a haunted house to lay your head in? You don't need to do that. I don't understand why. But even the ghosts don't care that you had the number one song for like what felt like 4 years. This next clip comes from Spooky Foodie, and she is talking about a very haunted department store. This place is like unhinged.
So there was this haunted Kmart in LA. And I say was because it's now closed. But people kept asking me to look into it. And I was like, all right, like I'm going to look it up. I go to look it up. It was the one on South Vermont Avenue. But it gets crazier. Okay, excuse this commercial underneath this. But it says many employee rumors surround this Kmart. Among them are a double murder-suicide that took place within a love triangle in the stockroom. All three spirits are said to haunt the store. A fourth apparition of an unknown man is said to walk in the stockroom. Okay, doesn't that story sound a little too specific to not be true? Like, what? I need more information about this.
Not the Kmart. Even the Kmart can get it. These ghosts don't discriminate. So, let me just say this. When something terrible happens in a place or someone is unalived, I can't say the M word on here and I'm not about to sacrifice monetization to say it. Someone is unalived abruptly. Sometimes they can be like earthbound, spiritbound, whatever. And I think that's what's happening in LA. Because ain't no way Kmart is haunted. What would a portal be without tunnels? This next clip comes from Fascinating Geography, and they are showing LA's tunnels. Yes, they used to have an underground subway system. They probably still in some portions of the city do. I know they do have a metro system, but it's very much so haunted.
These stairs lead to the old abandoned subway tunnels beneath Los Angeles.
Again, shout out to these ghost hunters and explorers, because ain't no way I'm down there and it's only me and a camera. Minimal light. This next video is of Hollywood Paranormal showing us the Haunted Trifecta, as she calls it, in downtown LA. And just look at how many buildings in a 0.5-mile radius are haunted.
While walking around downtown Los Angeles, I like to travel through what I call the Haunted Trifecta. That is primarily located in the old banking district of downtown Los Angeles. These are some pretty haunted locations that are not often talked about. The first place we're going to start, which is off of 4th Street, and that is the Hotel Barclay. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. The Hotel Cecil doesn't even hold a candle to this place, based on its gruesome and very dark history. Originally, this place opened as the Van Nuys Hotel in 1897, and it was supposed to be the creme de la creme of all hotels in downtown Los Angeles. And as the story goes, you would have people that would check in and would never check out, into the many murders and unalivings that would occur in this location. And as the death toll grew, so did the reputation of the hotel, which eventually had to change its name to the Barclay Hotel. This hotel was the scene of 2 serial killers who carried out their murderous deeds. In the 40s, we had the LA slasher, and then in the 70s, you had the Skid Row slasher. Regardless, the death toll would never stop growing. Even though this hotel is used as Section 8 apartments, it's often used as film locations. And I've had quite a few friends who have had some unusual experiences in this hotel, sightings of full-body apparitions. It's what's next door to the hotel that's also very interesting. If you partied in downtown Los Angeles back in the day, then you know a Bar 107. Bartenders here would experience a lot of unexplainable occurrences. We're probably most likely connected to the Barclay Hotel. Now take a right and walk further down South Spring Street. You'll pass the old Crocker Citizen National Bank, which is now the Last Bookstore, which happens to be facing the Hotel Alexandria. It is known to have its own dark history and hauntings. Not a lot of people know about the ghost stories of the Last Bookstore and a few of its ghosts that reside within the building of the old Crocker Bank. As I mentioned in my last video, workers of this bookstore have seen books fly off the shelves by themselves, seen things move in the corner of their eye. It's known to have the apparition of what they called the Ghost Watchman, still checking on things and roaming the halls in his afterlife.
I have walked past some of these hotels before, and I cannot believe the horror the murders, of themselves happen in these hotels, in these bars. You know, I stayed at one of these old hotels downtown LA. Actually, I checked in and I checked right back out because there was blood on the sheets. And I'm just wondering, where was I at? I have to like go back 16 years. But I wonder where I was at because I was like 18 years old and me and my friend were there for the BET Awards. And baby, we left. We checked in and we checked out. This next clip is from a creator called Dan D. Disney, and he is talking about the LA theater and how haunted it is. And people refuse to believe that this place is haunted, but he caught some weird shit on camera.
You all made fun of me for saying the LA theater was haunted, so I went inside. The upper rooms are gorgeous, but as I went deeper, things started to get a little bit weird, and you're about to see exactly why I think it's a bad idea to throw the Substance Festival here later this month.
Yeah, I would have wrapped that up real quick. There's nobody there, and we obviously could hear a piano. Like, what? This next clip comes from an account underneath the handle Golden Gal Shop LA, and she is taking us on a mini tour and giving us a mini lesson about a park called Dexter Park.
Okay, so there's a park by the fire station called Dexter Park. It's super small, super eerie, and it's a one-lane road. As you could see here. If you're from the area, you know that it is said that the men with the white hoods frequent this area, and it is said that someone was hung from a tree at this park. It is also said that if you come here at night, you could hear children playing in this playground right over here. I've been here at night many years ago, and I honestly don't know how I had the balls to come. Everyone, please share your stories and let me know if I missed any legends.
This next creator goes under the handle Live in Los Angeles, and he is giving us 5 locations that are haunted as hell. 5 landmarks. It just gets worse. I know the locals is just having cold cigarettes because, baby, I know they got to be tired. How do you live like this? Actually, I know how they live like that because I live like that too. It's so haunted here too. It's a lot. And whenever you are spiritual, baby, them attacks be different. So y'all be careful, my Los Angeles brothers and sisters. Be careful on them streets. And the DMV thing was a joke. I mean, everybody hates to go to the DMV, but don't go to the DMV in LA. You think your city is bad. I think my city is bad. Oh, trust me, they're the worst. This last video is just pointing out some of the other very haunted locations, why they're haunted, and this was exhausting.
So I'm quite often asked, what are the most haunted places in Los Angeles and where are they located? So here's part 1 of some of the most haunted places in Los Angeles, and this is just based off of my list and my opinions. And obviously you recognize the Hollywood sign because that's our first one off the list. So the Hollywood sign, which was built in 1923, was originally the Hollywood land sign. And they ditched the land back in the late 40s. In 1932, tragedy hits the sign, specifically around the letter H of the Hollywood sign, when 24-year-old actress Peg Entwistle had jumped to her death from that letter H. And people have claimed to see the apparition of Peg Entwistle around the sign. Hikers who tour around the sign have claimed to smell what seems like a gardenia scent, which was very similar to the perfume that Peg used to wear. This place here, the Linda Vista Community Hospital, which have now been turned to apartments. It was built in 1905 and closed in 1991, and it's definitely been the setting of many horror films, TV shows, and even paranormal shows. I've had friends who've worked on film sets here, and have also investigated here, and they've seen things that they couldn't explain. Even the new tenants here can confirm the haunting.
Turning a hospital into apartments is diabolical. What psychopath had that idea? And I get it. It's still good structure and land, but come on, like, they are forcing their residents to fuck around and find out. And the residents must be ready to FAFO because I would never. LA is absolutely haunted. It is a portal. Be careful when you go into spots that are considered portals, that have high spiritual and just negative energy. But on the flip side, it's one of my favorite cities. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you have never been to LA, I highly recommend that you go at least once in your lifetime. Just be careful whenever you're being curious in these haunted houses, haunted buildings. Cover your head, make sure you walk out backwards, and make sure you walk in backwards to your Airbnb, house, apartment, what have you. That is all for today. If you would like me to cover a person, topic, place, please leave it in the comments down below or email me. I'll be leaving that in the description. And remember, if you would like to travel with me, bestie, please take the survey down below and tell me what you want to do and where you want to go and when you want to go. All right, I love y'all down. And until next time, y'all do good, be good, and stay safe, please.